Before we begin, I want to give you some tips for analyzing and solving problems involving three-circle Venn diagrams. So the first thing you want to do is start with the region where all circles overlap. Next, fill in the region where two circles overlap. Then you're going to focus on the only regions. And lastly, you will focus on the regions outside of all circles. A survey of 125 students showed that 68 wished to travel to Hawaii, 53 to Las Vegas, 47 to Disney World, 34 to Hawaii and Las Vegas, 26 to Las Vegas and Disney, 23 to Hawaii and Disney, and 18 wish to travel to all three destinations. So we're going to use this information and organize it and place it in what we call three-circle Venn diagram. So recall the first step is to focus on the data that represents all three circles. So if we look at the data, we were told that 18 wished to travel to all three destinations. So that middle area where all three circles intersect, that is where we're going to place the 18. Now, because you have an 18 here in all three circles, once you start putting numbers inside the circle, you have to account for the 18 that's already there. In other words, there are 18 in Hawaii right now, 18 in Disney, and 18 in Las Vegas. So anything related to those circles, you have to give an account for those 18 that are already there. So step 2, recall, is to now focus on the two-circle overlaps. So we will be talking about Hawaii and Las Vegas, this region here. And then this region here would be Hawaii and Disney. And then this region over here would be Disney and Las Vegas. Okay, so let's start with moving from top to bottom with the data we're given. So we'll start with Hawaii and Las Vegas. So there were 34 who wished to travel there. So remember, there are 18 already there. So we're going to do 34 minus 18, and that gives us 16. So then we're going to place 16 in that overlapping region of Hawaii and Las Vegas. Now let's move on to the next two-circle region, and that is Las Vegas and Disney. Now 26 wish to travel there. So the two-circle overlap of Las Vegas and Disney, we're going to subtract 18 that are already there. So that's 26 minus 18. So there would be 8 in that region. Next, we're going to focus on the Hawaii and Disney region. 23 wish to travel there. So let's go ahead and take 18 from that 23. And that'll leave us with 5 people that wish to go to either both Disney and Hawaii. All right, moving on to now the only or the outer areas so that we can find the only. So we're starting from top to bottom. Let's start with Hawaii first. There were 68 wish to travel to Hawaii. So we have to add up those people that are already there. And there's 5 plus 18 plus 16. That's going to give us 39 people already there. So we subtract that 39 from the 68, and then that will give us our only people, which are 29. There are only 29 people that wish to travel to Hawaii only. Moving on down to Las Vegas to get the only for Las Vegas. Again, we have to account for the numbers that are already there. 16 plus 18 plus 8. Add them together. That's going to give us 42. Subtract that from the 53, and that will give us our only people for the Las Vegas. And then moving on to Disney, we again account for those that are already there, the numbers. That's 5 plus 18 plus 8, so 5 plus 18 plus 8. That adds up to what? 31. And we're going to subtract that from 47 to give us 16 Disney only. All right, so the last thing we need to do now is to identify those who did not wish to travel to either of these destinations. In other words, are there people that are outside of these circles? So first of all, you would have to count up all the numbers of all the people that are in the circles. So go ahead and do that, and let's see what you get in terms of your total. So recall there were 125 people surveyed. So the people that are in this circle account for how many? So if you add it correctly, you should have about 103 people there. So you're going to have to subtract that from the total people that you that you surveyed. So that'll be 125 minus 103, and then that's going to give you the people who did not wish to travel to either of those three destinations. And what is that number? If you said 22, that is correct. So you should have 22 people there outside the circles. And there you have it. That is the process for filling in a three-circle Venn diagram. And next we're going to answer some questions based on this survey. Okay, let's answer the questions. We'll start with the first one. How many did not wish to travel to any of these destinations? And that would be those who are outside of the circles. And how many do you see there? Yes, it's 22. 22 people did not prefer any of those three destinations. Moving on to number 2. How many wish to travel only to Hawaii? So remember, only are those outer regions. So for Las Vegas, the only would be the 11. For Disney, the only would be the 16. And what we want is the only for Hawaii, and that would be 29. Next question, how many wish to travel to Disney and Las Vegas, but not Hawaii? So when they say and, Disney and Las Vegas, that's what they share in common, that overlapping area. And as we can see here, that is your 8. Now the next question, it looks like it's the same question, but it's not. Number 3, it's Disney and Las Vegas, but not Hawaii. Number 4 says Disney or Las Vegas, but not Hawaii. So when they say or, that means both of them. You're going to have to add them up, Disney and Vegas. So that would mean everything in that region, but remember, not Hawaii. So don't get any of Hawaii's numbers. So we would have to add the 11 plus 8 plus 16 to give us our total there of 35. Lastly, how many wish to travel to exactly one of these destinations? So what they're speaking of is that only region. Remember I said that only region is that outer regions within the circles. That would be for Hawaii, the 29, for Disney, the 16, and for Las Vegas, the 11. So once you add those numbers up, it should give you 56 people who wished to travel to exactly one of these destinations.